Hello everyone, this is Story Minded, and I'm here to let you know about my NaNoWriMo project that I'm planning on doing for my first ever NaNoWriMo. I'm super excited about this. I don't want to reveal everything about my idea just because I'm still developing it, and I feel like it would spoil it if I sort of told you everything that's going to happen. That's one of the things that I need to look up. I am going to be on the NaNoWriMo website as much as I can, because I think it'd be really fun to be like a part of that community, but I just want to give you like a rough idea of what I'm planning. So excuse me while I lift up my laptop and everything, because it's going to be quite awkward to hold it. So I also got my notebook that I'm going to have to keep consulting because I haven't typed everything up yet. So the novel, or novella, because I'm not sure how long it's going to be, and also I'm not actually doing NaNoWriMo to win it, because realistically I don't think I'm going to be able to reach 50,000 words. Not because I'm being negative, but because just realistically with life I just don't think I'm going to be able to fit it in. But it is called A Human's Touch, and the genre is sci-fi, and the basic concept of my story is that synthetic models have been designed so they can grow as normal humans in order to combat the overpopulation crisis. The year the story takes place is 3014, and it revolves around quite a lot of characters, but my main characters are Randy Kempton, Eden Kempton, and Zeno Kempton. And their parents, Chase and Indy Kempton, although they're kind of out of the picture. And then we also have Cynthia Apollo, Damien Apollo, Janice Apollo, Dex and Dexteria Apollo, and then there's also Kelly Rain and Tegan Rain. That's a lot of characters. I'm not doing this very well, I apologise, but I'll get on to them in a moment. So the year the story takes place is 3014, and the year that the Simps were developed was in the year 3000, and the name of the company is Psygrowth, who developed them. Randy was 5 at the time, Chase was 30, Indy was 31, and Eden was 0. And then I've got some other key dates. 2995 was the year Randy was born to Chase and Indy. Chase was 25 and Indy was 26. 2998, a law was introduced that there could only be a single human child per household, and Randy was only 3. And then in 3010, Psygen overtakes Psygrowth. Randy was 15, Eden was 10, Zeno was 6, Chase was 40, and Indy was 41. And Psygen are not good news. They're kind of the antagonist of the story. Okay, so my characters, let's just flip the page. I'm sorry that this is really not organised. As you can tell, I've never done this before. Trying to skip over the page. Okay. Let's have a look. Okay, so Randy Kempton is the son of Chase and Indy Kempton. Now, Chase and Indy are the founding professors of Psygrowth, and that's the company that developed synthetic robots that have the ability to not only learn human emotion but to grow as normal humans. So their kind of philosophy behind creating these types of robots was to stop the overpopulation crisis, because the world is completely crammed full of people, and as we know, the environment is suffering. In this world, there is no green. There's more stimulus inside your house than there is outside. And Chase and Indy when the law was introduced in 2998 that, you know, there's too many humans, you can only have a single human child per household, Chase and Indy wanted to create something where relationships didn't have to suffer. So this is kind of like the essence of my story. I'm really interested in like the relationships we've developed with technology and machines, and I wanted to do this in a sort of creative way. So they created the robots for everyone, so no matter how much income you have, you would get at least one robot for free, one synthetic for free. But as we know, where is the date? That's going to really bug me now. Sorry. But Chase and Indy decide to have another child to give Randy a sibling. And this is against the law. So when our story takes place, Zeno is obviously, he is 10 when our story takes place. But I'm just trying to find it. In 3004, which is a date I haven't added on there, Zeno was born in 3004, and I'm trying to find, oh yeah, sorry, so in 3010, when Cygen take over Cygrowth, they kind of just take them over, Chase and Indy go on the run. Zeno is only 6 years old, Randy is 15, and they run, they go into hiding, and we don't know what's happened to them. So, I'll tell you a bit about Cygen. Cygen have completely stopped the intended purpose of the synthetics. They've continued from Indy and Chase's work, but they've completely taken it over in the sense that they've erased that wonderful philosophy that they had, and they've made these synthetics that are like basically superior evolution. They're obsessed with the idea of evolution. They want them to be the best, the strongest, the smartest, the most capable. There's no human side to them. And Eden, who is the synthetic robot that one of the synthetic robots that Chase and Indy created, she actually has a bit of a glitch. Like her eyes, she has one blue eye and one green eye. And my story with the prologue, it takes place that it's in a hospital setting, like a laboratory setting, and the news person is doing a report, and they're talking about it, and one of the workers there notices Eden and is like, oh well, do you want us to throw it away because it's obviously got something wrong with it? But Indy gets very maternal, and she's like, no, it's like, if you live by that sort of idea, just because it's like a synthetic doesn't mean that you can make that decision. Like, it's like, it's no different. She starts making all these different comparisons, and he's kind of thinking, well, you're crazy. But she takes Eden under her wing, and Eden becomes a part of their family. But Cygen, because they're so wonderful, have stopped the current synthetics for reaching their full capacity of being able to learn emotion and stuff. So Eden, she's naive. I love Eden. She's what I would call she's like a cinnamon roll character. She's lovely. I really like Eden. She has this, like, she wants to learn. She loves to read, and she has her own little ambitions of becoming like a dancer, but she just cannot understand emotion at all. So I think she's going to be really interesting to write. And I'll tell you a bit about the other characters. I'm sorry this is not organised at all, but this is what a writer's brain is like. I'm still sort of developing the plot, so that's kind of hard to explain. But Kelly Rain and Tegan Rain. Kelly is a 30-year-old when the story takes place, and she has a prototype from Cygrowth. She has a prototype of a synthetic robot, and it's a version of her baby because her baby Tegan was sadly a stillborn. Her human baby was a stillborn, and because she kind of went into depression naturally because she's lost her child, and it really hit her hard, and she's no longer with her partner. So because he left her, and because of all the new rules that came in with only having a single child, she couldn't bear the thought of even meeting someone or risking the fact that if she had another child, what would happen if she had twins, because she knows if that happens, they take one of your babies away and they get like placed with another family, or that's what you hope for. You don't know what happens to them, and she couldn't take that risk. So she has a synthetic robot in place of her baby. She actually went to Chase and Indy, although this is obviously isn't revealed in the beginning of the story, but she actually went to them, explained her situation, and they created Tegan for her, like using a photo. They completely replicated her for Kelly, and she hoped that she was going to grow into her daughter, but obviously Cygen have come along and completely buggered everything up, so that's not happening anymore. And then we've got the wealthy family. Damien and Janice are the parents of Dexteria, and Damien and Janice work for Cygen, but they're actually really good people. They're just workers in the system. And interestingly, in this world, engineers is the highest profession you can reach. And Randy, obviously being the son of Indy and Chase Kempton, is incredibly intelligent and talented in this field for engineering. But because his parents are in hiding, he has to also be in hiding. Because if they discover that Xeno exists, it's not going to end well for Xeno. So, back to Damien, Janice and Dexteria. For her birthday, they bring her a sister, Cynthia. And I'm really proud of the spelling for her name. It's actually Synthia. And she is a Cygen robot, so she's one of the newest models. And that's kind of their little bubble, although they're all going to cross over and merge. And in this world, the currency is like arcade chips, and because of the population crisis that's going on, no one is allowed to drive cars anymore, so you have bikes and you have to insert like the credits for the bikes to work, so they're almost like they're self-controlled bikes, so you can just sit on them and go around, but if not, you just have to walk everywhere basically if you're poor. And the schools have a test for the old models, so if the old synthetic robots, they have to take this test, and if they fail the test, they're used for scrap parts for like different things. So it's not a very nice world to live in. And there's another law where chip ownership. Cygen created these chips where you can modify your synthetics, because they're all obsessed with evolution, and so you could insert a chip and then your synthetic robot has the ability to shoot like fire out of its hands and all this crazy sort of stuff. And it's not compatible with the old models, so it's actually illegal to modify your old models. And as this story is taking place, Cygen are recalling all of the old, any Cygrowth models they are recalling, and they're killing lawbreakers. So obviously, like Xeno, he's a second born. If they find out that Xeno is alive, they will kill him. And to do this, they have their little police force that is made up of humans and their Cygen robots, and they're known as the Rounders. And yeah, they're constantly on patrol. They're not good news. And then let's see. But the kind of basic plot I have at the moment is that well, they're all going to sort of come together, but obviously they're in hiding, and I'm sort of planning that Eden has to take the test at school, and at the end of the test the Rounders burst in, and it's basically going to be a lot of chaos. But the idea is that Cynthia, who's the Cygen robot, she's experiencing things, and she's experiencing this overwhelming urge to destroy, and she knows that something is wrong, and she's very intelligent, so she enters her database in her mind and starts digging up information on Randy, because obviously Indy and Chase were his parents were the creators of the first synthetics, and she thinks, well, if anyone can help me, it will be Randy. So she seeks him out, and then Kelly, of course, because Kelly's daughter Tegan is a Psygrowth synthetic and they're being recalled, she is petrified. I get really emotional thinking about Kelly as a character because she's such a tragic character. I'm a horrible human being for creating her. She is terrified that the Rounders are going to come and take Tegan away, so she goes on her own little mission to try and seek Randy out, because obviously she knows Chase. She doesn't know that Chase, well, actually yes she does, obviously it would have been a big news story, so everyone knows that Chase and Indy, they know that they know that they ran, and they believe that Zeno was with them, but obviously he's not, but that's what they believed. But Randy's in hiding and he's doing all sorts of things to protect his brother. But Kelly then embarks on, you know, a kind of little mission of her own to try and find some help, try and find Randy, because she can't lose her daughter. Tegan is the closest thing she believes she's ever going to get to having a baby, and she thinks that Randy could help her, and obviously things are not going to end well for them. And yeah, it's gonna develop, and Randy is going to, it's quite a simple plot when you think about it, but in the end Randy is going, they're all going to go, there is a competition that Cygen are holding for the ultimate synthetic robot, and there are no rules to say that a Psygrowth robot can't enter. So Randy is going to take Eden and do things, well, yeah, he has a plan, let's just say. It's not a good plan, but he has a plan, and they're going to infiltrate Cygen HQ, and they're going to try and shut down the system. And revelations will occur, and it will be hopefully good. But anyway, that's kind of like the overview of my novel. I'm sorry I've rambled on. This is probably the longest video I've ever done. It probably makes no sense. I thank you if any of you have watched this. I'm going to obviously do little NaNoWriMo updates because it looks so fun. And I'm sorry if it's completely all over the place, but that's what it's like to be a writer. But I'm really looking forward to doing this. So thank you if anyone's watched, and oh, just before I go, I'll pause it quickly and see if I can find my NaNoWriMo username. So, one moment. I'm now down on the floor because it's in my journal, in one of my creative writing journals. I am under the username StoryMinded, so if any of you wanted to, like, over the course of NaNoWriMo, like, talk on the database? What am I on about? I've got database on the brain now. On the forums, that would be really cool. So if anyone's watched this, thank you. And if you're taking part in your own NaNoWriMo, maybe it's your first time like it is for me, feel free to comment below your ideas, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Bye.